there's a line that I've seen in many of our news coverage, that just basically news never stops, and that's really more than a line, is a reality. Hello, I'm Juan Pablo, news editor at the Ubyssey. At the news section, we have a saying that we cover institutions and our relationships with them, our interactions with them. We have a very broad variety of beats, but the common thread between them, the thing that they have in common, is that we focus a lot in our Ubyssey locality. We try to cover the issues that are important and the institutions that are important to our community of around 80,000 staff, students, and faculty. One of the ways we've organized our coverage at the news section is we've divided mainly two strands. One is policy and the other one is community. And beats can fall within different strands at different times. But policy is mainly everything that has to do with governance, and that means going to governance meetings, the AMS, the student union, the board of governors, just the Ubyssey's highest governing body, and Senate. And then on the other side we have community, which is really listening to what people care about and trying to meet those informational needs. That is usually protests, which are not something we expect happens often, but when it happens we have to be there and covering it. But also sort of more positive stuff that relates to students building startups and students having significant achievements and representing the university at different places in the world. So one of the both benefits and responsibilities of working at the news section is that we get to build relationships with sources and build relationships with people integrated in the institutions that govern the university. We get to attend their meetings, and we get sort of a more direct access to them, and to really understand why they're doing what they're doing, and what their plans are for the future. And an example of that could be for the our technology beat, which covers, broadly speaking, technology developments on campus. We get to speak to experts in different fields, and we get to speak to administration about why they've chosen a platform as opposed to another one for education purposes. But that also means we have to have a responsibility of fact-checking that information and looking at a lot of documents and looking at a lot of meetings, minutes, and contracts and stuff that might tell us more than our interviewees will tell us. Recently I was writing, and we published an article about the whole Canvas situation with the cyber attack that happened, and a big of like the concerns that a lot of people are having about our data and our security. And for that article I talked to professors, I talked to administration, and we really tried to get to the bottom of like how our data is being handled. So that's pretty much our process. We will get a tip, we'll get a pitch, and then we'll try to look for sources that can tell us more, both being interviewees, where we'll conduct a lot of interviews and talk to people, and documents that will tell us more. Some of the more specific expectations that the news section has tied to it is because of the fast pace and because we have a lot of stuff to cover and limited resources, people are expected to have an article a week or so. That way they're constantly covering something that is worth covering and that is of interest to our community. Not all articles are made the same. Some articles might be a very long investigation that takes a lot of time, and some might be a breaking news article that is maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs long. But we're hoping that we can find a balance by having that one article a week expectation, making sure people are always contributing as best as they can. That's a very broad introduction of what the news section does. If you're interested in learning more, we'll see you in the newsroom.